Howdy folks, welcome back to the channel, and welcome to episode number 1 of Trophy Room, which is just a series where I travel back in time and take a gander at all of NECA's Alien Predator figure releases, starting of course with the Aliens vs. Predator Requiem Alien Warrior, released in January of 2008 from the film AVP Requiem, which I believe released in December of 2007. Now, unfortunately, I did throw out the box many years ago. I found this at a puzzle zoo at my local mall, which unfortunately did close down, but here are some pictures of the box for nitpickers out there. Anywho, with that out of the way, let us have a little 360 of this figure. Now, if you've been watching my videos, you know that I'm a pretty big fan of Alien vs. Predator Requiem, and I'm a pretty big fan of this mold. Granted, this particular version is outdated. NECA has returned over the years and improved its wrists, its hands, its ankles, and its shoulder articulation. And I think I can say the same about the tail, because I think they revisited that and used maybe a different plastic of some sort, because the bendiness on this figure is not the best, especially towards the base of the tail, but I'll get into that in a little bit. Point is, the figure is still really good. The right knee on mine has grown a little bit wary and doesn't support the full weight of the figure anymore. If you can tell, even from here, it's begun to separate from the joint, which I haven't really gone back to try and fix. I wanted to show this figure for what it is right now, without any changes, just how it's aged over the last, I believe, 11 years. And it's definitely aged, but it's still in pretty decent shape, all things considered. I do have a little bit of paint wear on the top of the head, but besides that, in the knee, it's still in pretty good condition. So with that said, let us take a closer look. Alrighty, so the head sculpt. Right off the bat, you can tell, yeah, I do have some paint flaking off the top right here. You can see all those black little dots right there. It's really noticeable. It doesn't bother me too much, just because I know the age of the figure, and when I was younger, I played with this particular figure a lot and let it battle some of my other aliens and predators, so it's seen its war days. But regardless, it's still a really good looking figure. Let me get away from the focus right here. One thing I want to point out, and this is something that I wish all aliens had, would be these little wrinkles atop the borders of the head, just above the upper teeth. If you watch any alien movies, AVP, you'll know that when the alien snarls, the borders kind of wrinkle up a little bit, and I don't see that a lot on alien figures anymore, at least not like this, and I completely forgot about it. I had to fiddle around with this figure to even notice it, and it's so flippin' cool. I'm really glad they added that little touch. It definitely makes it more realistic, and I do like these gums or these muscle groups that they added in. Granted, I'm not sure if the color is still good on mine. Again, I've had it for years. It could have faded, but it still works. I do like all these gums. I like the silver they use for this part of the jaw here, and the silver teeth. They even painted the gums a little bit of black, which is cool. It does have an inner mouth, by the way, right there. I hope you guys can see that. The thing is, mine won't come out, and I didn't really do any research on this figure. I'm not sure if it can come out. I didn't really try and force it, but that's what you guys are for. Let me know down in the comments if it can pop out or not, because I don't really feel like breaking this. I do like this figure. Man, and check out that neck. That sounds creepy to say, but look at all those coils and all those rings and ridges and everything. I mean, the detail is insane on this. It really is. I like the shade of brown that they use, if it's even a shade of brown or it's just faded paint, and I also like the silver and black that they meshed in. It's just so cool. Even the bottom of the neck, he's got like that turkey neck a little bit down there with some coils and stuff, which I think is kind of funny. And the top of the dome obviously is really reminiscent of the Alien Warrior design from you know, the 86 movie Aliens, which I dig. I really do like it. Again, you got that spine slash ridge type of thing going on, tubes and everything. More of that brown right there towards the mouth and the back right here. All these ridges and everything. It's really well done, really well painted. Nice shade of silver, like a dark silver across the top of the dome. So the head it's really well done. Even the back of it right here, you can see more of those ridge designs. It's kind of hard to show it on camera, but it is there. It is there. You got this groove right here across the back. So it's a good looking mold. And as I've said, they've come back to this figure a lot and redid it, and sometimes they didn't even change the head sculpt because it still works. So NECA, good job. And the same could be said for the rest of the body. As per every alien that we pretty much get, we do have that rib cage design right here, which is done again really beautifully. Got a nice shade of silver across the black paint. It appears on my screen brown for whatever reason. It's not, it's silver. I don't know why my camera's doing that. That's very odd. He does, or she does rather, have the shoulder pads just like the big chap, which is something kind of different. I'm glad the design for the movie included that. Pretty cool looking. And the back has those tubes, which on this particular alien really resembles octopi tentacles. You can see all these suction cups and all this creepy stuff going on. It is a very disturbing thing, but it's funny looking. It really is. In the back you can see the spine right there, and the spine is actually curved toward the bottom. I don't know, like right here, I don't know if that's supposed to be like that. That's very odd, but I'm not complaining. So yeah, she's got some octopi tentacles. She's a little bit different than other aliens. So there you go. The arms right here, trying to get it to focus. Nice muscle groups, really good definition throughout. Even got the bicep cut, and more of that rib cage design, and more of those coils and ridges and everything. Just a lot of detail. I mean, even if you would articulate the figure even more, they sculpted more underneath. So that's why I like to show off all this all that different stuff. And you got the arms here, pretty standard alien arms. Got the elbow spike and the hand, all those wrinkles and everything. It's crazy. The nails are a little weird. Some are painted like this and some are painted black. It's a little odd, but that's okay. And moving down on the figure, you got the thighs. You got these interesting thigh pads or something, kind of like the shoulders, only not on the shoulders. So that's kind of weird, but it looks good for the design. Looking at her tummy, which sounds weird. Again, really good paint work, a nice design. The legs here, it's great definition. Yes, the knee has been separating on me over the years, as I've said. Not the biggest deal in the world for me. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. And on mine, if you notice, I'm pretty much certain this is because of just the years. One has this silver sheen across the black, and this one's kind of just plain oblique, which is a little bit odd. Let me know if your figure is like that. Again, I didn't really do too much research on this particular figure, but what do you think you guys are for? Okay, moving down, you got the feet right here. Looking pretty interesting. Nails, again, are painted a little weird. Some are silver, some are black. And this one even has a different paint job, so it's a little bit weird, but good muscle definition, and peg holes for the stand, which I'll get into in a minute. And of course the tail, which has some scuffs and scrapes that I've gotten as it aged. One's actually right there and the other's right here. Not too big of a deal. I don't really mind. It's okay. I'm glad the tail hasn't separated on me over the years as well. It's still tightly secured, so good job, NECA QC, back from the day. And moving down all the way to this spike right here. The bendy wire unfortunately doesn't go all the way through. That would have been really cool, but it doesn't. I can live with it, and it's got this spike right here. So, again, it works. The figure still works, and I'm surprised it's still in as good a shape as I am seeing right now. The trouble is getting it to stand again. The knee, it's a little bit, it's making it difficult, but you do manage eventually. Anywho, articulation. Man, that knee is really bothering me. Man, I really should revisit that and fix it. I think the reason I don't do that is because of the stand. It kind of solves all my problems, but anywho, articulation. The head, it's a bit limited. It can go up pretty much that much and down that much, and it can move left to right and wobble side to side, so it's not the worst, it's not the best, it's okay. The shoulders are limited here at the top. They can really go forward and back, do the full 360. Got the upper bicep cut and a single jointed elbow, and the wrists can swivel with no finger articulation. The diaphragm joint, it's a little bit limited. It has improved on future models, but it can do everything that you would expect it can do, just a little bit limited is the thing. Man, don't break that. Feels like I'm gonna break it. The thighs, right. Okay, so limited because of these thigh guards. I don't know what to call them. That's weird, but they can go out that much. For whatever reason, this one can go out more than that one. It's very weird. I don't know why that is. And they can go forward and back and side to side and do everything you need them to do. It even has a upper thigh cut too, which I found surprising considering it's in a wave with a pred alien that can hardly move. Very weird. Got the single jointed knee, does its job, and the ankles can go forward and back, but no side to side, no ankle pivot, unfortunately. The tail, it's okay. It could have been better. Bendy wire up to here is not so great, but it does its job, kind of. It could be better, I'll admit, but it's an early figure, so, but just fiddle with it for a while. Eventually it'll do what you need it to do. It just takes a little bit longer. And I really want to get it. I don't want to use the tail as support. Come on, you can do it, pal. Oh wow. Okay, I did it. Shoot. I think I'm God. Okay, cool. Because we're onto size, then let's check out the one accessory that this figure comes with, which is this. You got a stand. Yeah, I know. Y'all are surprised because NECA, they don't do stands. No, you gotta buy that stuff separately. No. This figure came in 3 parts. Got the skinny bit here and the 2 blotches. And not a whole lot to say about it. I mean, it's just like muddy ground. Got pebbles and rocks all over it. Actually, pretty decent detail for what it's worth. And it works really well. I mean, it's just a standard stand. I don't know. And obviously, just put the alien there, use the peg holes. And it like I mentioned, it does its job perfectly fine. And it really makes me wish that NECA would keep doing this, because again, I like it. It works. I think all aliens should come with a stand. Even if they reuse the stand, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter to me. Just give us something. Don't make us buy it separately, which I'm not gonna do, you bastards. Alrighty, so size. I brought a couple figures off of my shelf. Specifically, I brought this figure off my shelf, the Pred Alien, which does not like to stand the best even with the stand, but I do want to show them side by side. Oh, you see what I mean? You see what I mean, what's happening here? Yeah, it's interesting that these are in the same wave, because the Pred Alien has great detail, but articulation's kind of crap, whereas you got this one here, which is obviously just eons better. But yeah, so there's the size. For whatever reason, I think that the Pred Alien should be bigger. Then again, let's actually bring in the Predator from these early series. Let's put you in place of the Pred Alien there for a second. Yeah, I think the Pred Alien should have been bigger. it's no biggie. These were early figures, early sizes, but there they are together. I think they look pretty good, side by side. The design definitely fits, and they're fun to pose with each other. But let's actually remove him and bring in an improved version of the mold. So as you could tell, this figure in particular has a different paint job and a different dome, obviously, but pretty much everything else should be the same minus some articulation differences. And let's actually get into that now. Okay, straight off the bat, you can tell the shoulders on this one are way better. They can move out and in, whereas this one obviously cannot. The inner mouth on this one, I believe, can come out, whereas on at least mine, it cannot. The diaphragm joint is definitely better on this one. Let's actually test that. Yeah, it's a little bit better on this one. Has a bit more mobility than on this lovely darling right here. And this one also has the double jointed elbows, whereas this one does not. Moving down on the figure, double jointed knees on this one, but not on this. And the ankles, right. So it has the toe joint and it has ball joint right there. So some pretty key differences between these two, but essentially the mold is the same. I mean, painted better, definitely. Then again, they are painted completely different, but the majority does stay the same. And obviously the dome, they are very different. In fact, the muscle groups on this one is different on this one, so I guess the heads are basically completely different. From a distance, it didn't look like... And you know what? Let's actually turn this one around and see. Yeah, I guess they are a little bit different. I thought they were at least similar in some parts, but no, they're not. Okay, let's get into final thoughts. I lied. There's one more thing that I'd like to show off, and it's this. I believe this was a Toys R Us exclusive Predator Vision Xenomorph, which is a repaint of the last one, but again, they're pretty similar, and I wanted to show them off. I think they look pretty cool together. Again, I think he was a Toys R Us exclusive back in the day, I believe. And what else would it be? Because I remember it was some exclusive, but yeah, there they are. I really like this figure, by the way. If you can find her, I recommend her. She's so cool on the shelf. And here she is next to my alpaca. Alrighty, final thoughts on the AVP Requiem Alien Warrior. I don't know how much this figure goes for anymore. I don't go on eBay to revisit older figures, even though I should have, because it would have been interesting. But that is what you guys are in the comments for. Y'all gotta help me out on this one. I can't do all the work. But in all seriousness, I picked this up at a Puzzle Zoo lots of years ago. I'm surprised it's still in pretty decent shape, minus that knee and a few paint issues. And I'm really happy that I still own it. It's a great mold, it still works to this day. Yeah, they've gone back and improved upon it, but overall it's still the same mold, and honestly, I do prefer it over the Warrior molds from Aliens. And I'm not saying those molds are bad, they are perfect for the movie, but when you have this figure in hand or any of the future versions, it's so easy to play with, and just handling it is awesome. You can pretty much put it in any pose and it'll still look good. I mean, right now I have her in a pretty generic pose, her arms up and her tail kind of curved, and she still looks good. So, Neca, for back in the day, you did a pretty good job, and thank you for including a stand. Can you do that more often? Cough, cough, Assassin Predator, you motherfuckers. And there we have it, folks. First episode of Trophy Room Down. And what do you guys think? I plan to do many more videos in this series. Although I don't own every single Neca Alien Predator figure, I do own most of them, so I'm definitely going to be putting out individual videos, even for repaints, just because I got new people coming in every day, and I don't want to show you a video of a repainted Alien Warrior, for example, and then say, I'm going to keep it short, go watch this one. Each one's going to be pretty much the same length. I'm going to take my time, look it over, show people what's up, and just have a pretty good time. And the reason I'm doing this series is because I've had a lot of fellers on the YouTube land comment saying, can you gather up all your figures in one place and show them? I even had some fellers out there saying, could you show off one figure at a time in one giant video or something? And I thought, man, that's something I really want to do, but time and work, it's not in my schedule. So I'm doing the next best thing. I'm going one figure at a time, and one day, when I reach the end, I promise, I will show the collection in its full entirety in one whole video. But for now, y'all got this series, and personally, I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's good to revisit these figures. They still are really amazing, and it's nice to see how NECA has evolved over the years. Okay, I think I can shut up. Please go check out The Sanctuary on Facebook, and also go check out Trophy Room on Facebook. I know, the same name, but I created that group for Alien Predator collectors. Feel free to post your hauls, your figures, your toy photography, your thoughts on movies, TV, basically anything related to the franchises, and just have a good time. We'd love to have you over there. And as always, people, have a good morning, evening, midday, whatever, and take care.